What is going on, you guys? It is Mr. No Sleep here from Old School RuneScape, and welcome to a brand new video for you all today. So today I bring you all loot from 1000 Zalcano. Zalcano was released into the game July 25th, 2019, so not too long ago, and I would say this boss is definitely considered a skilling boss. Although it is level 336, pretty high combat, you do actually need to use your skills in order to kill it. Using smithing, rune crafting, and a very strong pickaxe for mining, this all is required to kill the boss, and on top of that, it just has an amazing drop table. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this video, but of course, before we get into it, we do have some quick words from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, for those of you who haven't heard yet, Raid Shadow Legends is a brand new free-to-play collection RPG game that has been taking the mobile gaming landscape by storm. In 3 months, almost 10 million players have downloaded this game, and if you're curious as to why, it is because in Raid Shadow Legends you get not only dark fantasy, but the realism to go along with it, with amazing detail put into every aspect in the game. And I think that detail really captures the gaming experience for what it's meant to be, which is exactly what keeps people coming back to Raid every single day. As you can imagine, this game is growing super fast, and the highly anticipated new update is now live, and if you're a new player, there is an awesome rewards program where you can go and get new daily login rewards for the very first 90 days in game. And those daily rewards will definitely help you out over time, because in Raid you can collect over 400 champions, you can gather orcs, knights, elves, and so much more. And if you happen to have any friends that also enjoy mobile games, you can raid with them in your very own clan and also claim victories in the PvP arena. Personally, what I like about this game in particular is that I can play it wherever and whenever I want for however long I want, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours. I mean, I can get on and unlock new skills, new abilities, and especially new champions. And another good thing about Raid is that when you start playing it, if you ever have any questions, they have a great Facebook community as well as a really helpful YouTube channel that does help and answer a lot of questions that people tend to have about the game, and both of those links will be in the description below. So the real question is, what are you guys waiting for? Go to the video description or the top pinned comment below and click on those special links, and you will get 50,000 silver immediately, as well as a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Once again, a big thank you, of course, to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring today's video, and I do genuinely hope you guys check out the game. They've done so much for the channel so far, and I am really thankful for them to continue these sponsors. So first things first, for 1000 Zalcano, let's go over the requirements, what you need exactly to be able to reach this location and do this boss, especially as it pertains to the equipment and the inventory as well. So for me, gear-wise, at the very beginning, I was rocking the full Prospector with, of course, the Varrock body, and I thought that, since this was a mining boss, having the best mining equipment on would be the smartest way to go about it. However, I quickly saw that I was pretty much the only one not wearing full graceful, so I did switch on over to full graceful, and that is what I would recommend you guys to bring for gear here, simply because you're going to be doing a lot of running, and graceful as well. If you don't have graceful, boots of lightness are good, spotty or cape, things like that. Anything that reduces your weight will simply help you in the long run here. Now, as it goes for your inventory, you will be taking some damage, and like I said, you will be running a lot, so definitely make sure you bring at least 3 to 4 stamina potions, I would say, and on average, if you're a main with 99 HP, I was bringing about 6 Saradomin brews and anywhere from 4 to 6 sharks or manta rays, but you can definitely be selective as it goes for your food choice. I just kind of went with that setup, and it seemed to work out pretty well. From start to finish, that was a pretty good inventory setup, and on average, I would be banking all of the drops that I would receive in one inventory from Zalcano, I would say once every 1 to 2 hours, just depending on how much damage I was taking per game and things like that. Don't forget that you're also going to be needing a pickaxe, because this is a mining boss after all, so I was going with the dragon pickaxe, but a lot of people eventually did upgrade their dragon pickaxe, and you would see anywhere from rune to dragon to now crystal pickaxes being used here. And if you're ever curious as to why some people are wearing Varrock armor, that is mainly because when you're mining the rocks here, that Varrock armor actually gives you a bonus that sometimes you can get double the amount of ores, and therefore you can just mine faster. So that's why sometimes you'll see people bring the Varrock armor along with the graceful. Well, now that we've covered the gear and the inventory, let's talk talk about the other requirements that you do need to have complete in order to kill Zalcano. So first things first, you do need a bare minimum of 70 mining and 70 smithing, and you also need to complete the quest The Song of the Elves in order to access this area in the first place. And when you do complete the quest, this area, this Zalcano prison, can be found just west of the southeastern bank, and you will be using a teleporting platform to go down, and you will be in the prison once you do all that. And just kind of a side note, you know, a historical RuneScape fact here, but Zalcano is actually considered to be a demon, as well as being related to another boss in this game, none other than Skotizo. Believe it or not, Zalcano is Skotizo's sister. And just like her brother Skotizo, Zalcano has a marvelous drop table, and it also drops a pet. So let's go over the rare drops first, and then we'll talk about all of the other drops from this boss. So I would definitely say the most useful rare drop on Zalcano's drop table would be the Crystal Tool Seed, which you guys will see numerous times during this video in the drop log, because I wanted to make sure that not only did I record every single Zalcano kill, and I wanted to make sure in this video you guys would see the best drops that I got during 1000 KC, but not only just in my name, but in everyone else's name too. So if you happen to be doing Zalcano with me, also shout out to those who did in World 361, 350, and 444, and you did receive a drop, then you are most likely in this video. So shout out to you and congratulations on your luck. But yeah, first things first, the Crystal Tool Seed is an Elven Crystal, and it is a rare drop from Zalcano, and it can be turned into a Crystal Axe, Crystal Harpoon, and Crystal Pickaxe. Very useful for any skillers out there, no matter what account you're playing on, and no doubt about it, the most useful rare that you can get from this boss. Now, the next rare would be the Zalcano Shard, and that is not too great. I mean, you can essentially put it on a Dragon Pickaxe and make it look fancier. That's it. It's probably going to be not that expensive in a few more weeks, maybe even a few more months. Now, something that is also considered to be a rare here would be an Uncut Onyx, which you will see at the very end of the video when I show my collection log that we did have an interesting experience with quite a few Onyxes during this video. So that is considered to be a rare here as well. And finally, last but not least, of course, the pet, which is the ultimate, I'd say, drop here. I mean, it's just very rare to get, and since this is just such a populated boss, as you can see in almost every clip here, there's more than 5, 6, 7 people, even at times, maybe even 10. So, you know, getting that pet out of every single one of those people, whether you get MVP or not, is definitely going to be a rare experience for you. So yeah, I would say this pet is definitely more rare than other pets that you can get in this game, no doubt about it. Now, I just mentioned while killing Zalcano, either with a group or if you're doing it alone, you can actually win the reward of being the MVP, and that just means that you were the one that dealt the most damage to Zalcano, which most likely means that you were the one clicking the most, being the most attentive and all that stuff. And if you do happen to get that MVP, then you will be receiving an additional roll on a lesser drop table from the normal drop table of Zalcano. So that is something to keep in mind, that hard work does pay off for this boss. The more that you're clicking, the more that you're paying attention, the more money you will make, proven over time, as long as you continuously get MVP over everyone else in the room. Now, speaking of money, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the normal drops that you can get from Zalcano. You know, if you happen to be a main account or an Iron Man account, can these drops benefit you? And if so, how can they? Just looking at this bank clip here, you can just kind of see that all of the drops are definitely skill related, starting with the ores and then followed by the bars, then the gems, and of course the runes. Now, at this point in the video, I was over the halfway point. I had just reached 500 and I was actually dry myself. I had not gotten a rare drop, just those, you know, great normal drops on the table there. But I did actually break that dry streak at KC 520 with my very first Zalcano Shard. Unfortunately, the most useless drop of them all that you can get here, but it is what it is. It's better than getting nothing. And for some reason, following that Zalcano Shard, the very next kill, back to back, someone was lucky enough to get a Crystal Tool Seed, which is honestly one of the main drops that I wanted in order to fill the collection log, and also I wanted to get the pet. But that was crazy to see a back-to-back. And just a few kills later, I think 6 kills later or so, I did actually get a second Zalcano Shard. So yeah, I will certainly either be selling those shards when we get to the price check, or using them myself on my Dragon Pickaxe, you know, make it look a little fancier. I do believe those shards are under 500k at this very point in time, probably even lower than that. So the value, not too great, but you know, just kind of gave me a little bit more confidence for the next drops. Speaking of confidence, this guy Nolan too seemed to be pretty confident about pretty much calling a drop for him there, and yeah, out of about 8 or 10 people there, he did receive that crystal tool seed. I would say it did make for one of the luckiest moments, especially for him during this video. So yeah, shout out to him. That was a pretty unique moment there. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, Mr. No Sleep, where's the pet? You know, we keep seeing all these crystal tool seeds, all these useless shards, all these onyxes. I mean, there's this, there's that, but where is the pet? And like I said, this pet from this boss, very rare, not only to see it, but just to get it, you know. But I will say that you will not be disappointed throughout the whole video, so that is all I will say about that. I also did find it interesting that this Iron Man did receive 2 onyxes in what looks like about 30 kills of each other. So yeah, it just goes to show that it really is all a luck game. I mean, you can be doing this in a group of 4 or 5 or even 10, and you know, the same person can actually get back-to-back drops versus all of the other people. But of all the people during this video, including myself, ladies and gentlemen, the luckiest of them all, whoever this man is by the name of NTY Bob, he did receive the Zalcano pet, the one and only pet that I did actually see during the making of this 1000 KC video. Yeah, it's kind of a spoiler, the last 250 wasn't the luckiest. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, it was nice to actually see somebody get a pet. You know, I'm not too sure of the drop rate. It hasn't been released just yet, but I'm sure in a few months it will be released. Jagex tends to wait on things like that. But yeah, overall, even though we did not receive the pet, it's completely fine. I really did actually enjoy this boss. I was averaging anywhere from 15 to 20 kills per hour. I do know that if you use World 302, you can get an insane amount of games done in 1 hour because there's just so many more people. But I'm still trying to learn the true smartest strategy of killing this boss, how many people you're supposed to bring. I think the perfect number for me personally is 4, but that's just me. I'm sure other people out there might disagree with that. Overall, I didn't really get to talk too much about the normal drop table. I kind of rambled on into something else earlier, but I will say that you guys will kind of see the bank tab when we get to the price check, and it really speaks for itself. You know, I try not to go too into detail about all the things that these drops can be used for, because I'm sure most of you guys already know this stuff. So yeah, but any Iron Man out there, you know, these bar drops, these ore drops, very useful for making darts for your blowpipe, or maybe cannonballs for your cannon, or even using the nature runes here just for high alching. I mean, there's all sorts of really useful things that this boss has to offer. So I will stand by the statement that you should definitely check this boss out, whether you are an Iron Man or a main. Maybe you'll get lucky, you never know. But anyways, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, 1000 Zalcano has been complete. I would say this video did take me about 8 days of playing time, so I would say on average I played anywhere from 5 to 6 hours a day in that time, and for the most part I was using groups of 4 to 5. So yeah, that would be, I guess, the majority of this video, but there would be times and there would be hours where I would try out soloing, duoing, also using bigger groups. So don't worry too much on the amount of time, because just like the drops, it varies. Alright, so price checking the supplies, the Ceradome and Brews, the staminas, and the food that we did use. We started with about 21.8 mil and ended with about 19.4 mil, so we only had to spend about 2.4 mil or less for 1000 Zalcano. Definitely worth it, and overall, no pet or tool seed was achieved. Very unfortunate, as well as no onyx in my name. However, like I said before, wait till we show the collection log. But before we do that, let's go ahead and price check all of the normal drops and just look at the amount of them. My goodness. So you're going to be expecting just about 6,000 Addy ore, 26,000 mithril ore, almost 800 rune ore, 13,000 coal. My goodness. Over 8,000 law runes, 6,000 Addy bars, 1,000 rune bars, almost 14,000 mithril bars. For you Iron Men out there, I'm telling you, you will never have to worry about filling that blowpipe up ever again. Just absolutely crazy to see all these items, all these resources, and all of these items and all of these resources do come out to be just about 100 million GP on the dot. And keep in mind, that was with getting 239 MVPs, because every time you do receive MVP while doing Zalcano, you do get ashes as a drop, and I did make sure to collect the ashes every single time I did receive it. So overall, 100 mil in drops with that amount of extra drops from the MVP. Very nice. And as it goes for the crystal shards, I did receive just about 2,000 from 1,000 Zalcano Zalcano KC, and I'm not too sure what I'm going to be using those crystal shards for yet. I am assuming that I'm going to be using them for an enhanced crystal key video, although I haven't decided yet. So if you guys have any advice on what to use crystal shards on, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. But yeah, after we did sell everything, including the 2 Zalcano shards, we did end up with just about, as promised, 100 mil cash. Now, strangely enough, even though I recorded every single 1000 Zalcano KC that I did in this video, my collection log does alert me that I received 2 Onyxes, but I never did. So if anyone knows the answer to that mystery, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe it's just if you witness one in your chat box? I'm not too sure, but with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. I really do apologize that it took so long to get out there. Just been having a crazy month, man. A lot of family stuff, a lot of real life stuff, but I do assure you guys that my next video will be amazing for you all. I don't think I want to make you guys wait a month for loot from 1000 players, so I'm going to try to do some side videos in between working on that big project. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, Mr. No Sleep out.